Defender Jay Bellinger on behalf of Ms. Gales, who stands by my side. Ms. Gales, can you please state your name again for the record?
Carla Shandelsky.
All right. Ms. Hughes, I don't know how much of what we went through you want to place on the record.
I appreciate you giving me the opportunity. What I would like to place on the record is that at the time that I charged this, I requested $250,000 after any other moving that request today for the reasons that I mentioned at the time. If at any point she is released from custody, I am requesting a home confinement tether. Thank you.
All right. Thank you.
Your Honor, I would just add that I would just ask for a reduce. I don't know that $250,000 is necessary in this case. My client is willing and capable of doing home confinement. Now, home is in contest, as I've been made aware by the court. However, it is my understanding that mom has a place to go. Mom has a place that she can stay. I don't currently know where that address is at. Mom had to leave to go pick up my client's daughter from school. She does have a 20-year-old and a 17-year-old whom she resides with, whom she takes care of. Her son helps her with regard to the finances. Her daughter, like as I said, is 17, still in high school. I just would like an opportunity for my client to be able to get out. I don't know that $250,000 is necessary, although I do understand the court's concern when it comes to there being a weapon in question out in the sphere.
All right. Well, and again, I don't want to reiterate everything that we went through, but the sum and substance so that there's at least a record of the court's decision regarding bond in this case. This case involves allegedly the entry by this defendant into someone else's home. Critical to that is the changing of the locks on that home that belonged to somebody else. I am also to understand that she was in possession of a deed to that home, a license which indicated that address, and voter registration at that address. As it turns out, at least the investigation has revealed that address is not hers. It belongs to two other individuals.
Those are the allegations, yes.
Right. That would have occurred basically December 25th through the 30th, but somewhere around that area of 2023. The end of December 2023. The court was then informed that there was another address on Panama that the defendant, that was her address. Well, going through the court records, because that's this court's jurisdiction for summary proceedings or landlord-tenant, a judgment evicting this defendant was issued by myself in mid-December of 2023. That would have made the writ or order of eviction date the end of 2023, approximately that same time that she allegedly entered these other individuals' home and sort of set up domicile there. So that's curious enough. Trying to figure out under what terms and what conditions the court would feel comfortable releasing the defendant, because these allegations are rather serious, that because these folks' home, these allegations, was transformed. There is approximately, these allegations, about $11,000 plus of property missing from these premises while these people were on vacation or just had left their home for a moment. There's also a weapon that is missing. The defendant is there and doesn't seem to be able, or doesn't seem to, under color of any right, have any ability to be in those premises. So there is this other address, Roundtree Boulevard in Ypsilanti Township, which is the address which is in the court file, which the court could see fit to potentially tether. Initially thought that I could tether this individual to that address, that there's something that we could do with that address to keep the public safe. I'm then informed, so that, again, the record's clear, that on March 11th of this year, that the defendant, although contacting the police, returned to the address in Ann Arbor, which was the address where she had moved into again. When the police and everybody had told her to stay away from that address, she went back there. That's March 11th. That the dates are important. And I informed counsel that I then went back to look at, or just the curiosity for the court standpoint as to why she was returning to that address if she had this other address in Roundtree Boulevard, Ypsilanti Township. Turns out when we look up the court cases in the 14B jurisdiction where Roundtree would be, that she is indeed being evicted from that Roundtree premises, which fits factually into what she had previously done. When there's an eviction, she goes to this other house. There's now this other eviction, she's showing back up. So I don't know where this defendant would go. I don't know where she is even supposed to be. Counsel did inform me upon the court's question that the Roundtree address she had been residing at for approximately 5 years. That fits with various court records that that's her address. But her current driver's license is for the Panama Street address. Moreover, the Panama address, the license was issued to her after she had been evicted from those premises. So I'm not clear what's going on. That means she would have had to present herself to the Secretary of State for the issuance of that driver's license, knowing that she no longer resides at that address. And she's at another address. And then there's this other address on Roundtree. So again, I don't know, even if I'm disinclined to, at this point, give a tether because I don't know where she is supposed to be.
I understand, Your Honor. Thank you, Your Honor. I did want to inform the court as well, Your Honor, aside from bond, that I've talked to my client, I've talked to my client's mother, I've talked to prosecution, we'll be submitting an evaluation for competency to this court as soon as possible. I can have that done and submitted by tomorrow so that we can start the proceedings on that. And I can always file a motion as I know to do if I find out a place for her to go. Should this court, it doesn't sound like this court is going to do anything but remand her at this point. I understand the court's position on that. I would again just renew my request for something a little more palatable than $250,000. I don't know that is necessary in this case, although I do understand the court's concerns as I stated.
Maybe I wouldn't consider the people's request in terms of its monetary amount necessary if I didn't have the incident from March 11th.
Okay.
I have very serious concern. And well, the incident from March 11th where she goes back to the premises, the missing firearm, all of those things are of grave concern to the court and I believe pose a danger to the public. So I am going to set the defendant's bond in an amount of $250,000 cash surety. I would, part of the other concern, counsel, that I have is that the defendant has ties, as I see them, to other states. I see she has ties to Virginia and Tennessee. And my understanding is that her mother is up here visiting.
Yes, Your Honor.
From what state?
Virginia, Your Honor.
The other condition is, at least at this point, is GPS tether, home confinement prior to release. So if she were able to post this, she'd have to be on a GPS tether for home confinement. Our difficulty at this point is I don't know where that is.
Okay.
All right. And I'll leave it there. I'll set a competency hearing in this matter, 90 days out.
July 2nd at 9 a.m.
I've set a competency hearing for July 2nd, 2024, 9 a.m.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you.
Okay.